You're going to show us the video, but first, give us some context on what we're about to see.
Yes, Jake, this is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles. She claimed in her lawsuit that she was physically assaulted by Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically. Really, Jake, the lawsuit lines up with exactly what we are seeing. So let's take a look. New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by
Hey, again, just a forewarning. I know this is a tough watch. I've seen clips of it, just like everybody else, man. But I want to kind of get the full story of what CNN is talking about, or how they, handled the exclusive, because I think they're the ones that put it out there. I think they're the ones that got the footage. So
CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations.
Now look at this, y'all.
Footage obtained.
The girl is barefoot. She's barefoot. She's not even. She didn't even put her shoes on. Okay, that's somebody that's trying to get up out of there. That's somebody that's trying to get up out of there. She didn't even put her shoes on. She just, look, I'll do this later. It's crazy.
New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs wearing only a towel, assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the.
So at this point, he done already punched her in the face. By this point of him doing this, she was already previously punched in the face in the room.
A black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura.
See, she tried to leave while he fell asleep, man. Yeah, man. It's either that or take you out while your eyes closed, my guy. She tried to get up out of there.
He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her.
I know
the
people
complaint
heard
goes
that.
on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor.
Yo, he kicked her while she was down, kicking her and stomping on her and all this.
To the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can then be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura, later, to the
this
hotel
man
room,
took the stuff, put it back, and then came. Look how aggressive he is. Bro, we see you in 4K too, my guy. Tattoos and all. We see you.
Seen picking up a hotel phone.
He comes back. So it's not even like, oh, she was trying to steal his stuff. He came back and got it, which still doesn't excuse the behavior. But okay, he took that, put it back, and came back to still get her. Still putting his hands on her.
Walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner.
Bro.
Moments later, he can then be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura's now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before and comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleged.
And it does take courage. It does take courage to come forward. You know what I mean? Because most people automatically don't believe you, right? You're doing it against a powerful person. You're doing it against a very rich person. Somebody that can make things happen in the blink of an eye. You know what I mean? That takes some courage to come out, especially if people are going to come at you as if you were the person in the wrong, which is exactly what happened. Everybody called Cassie a liar, said she was just after the money, said that she was just abusing his character, wanted to take another black man down type of stuff. Now look, we got the video.
Combs' involvement in sex trafficking and sexual abuse. Allegations that Combs has repeatedly denied. Authorities searched Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami in April as part of an ongoing federal investigation carried out by a team that specialized.
Hey, the feds don't just show up at your house randomly, yo. That's not the police, okay? That's not a noise complaint. The feds don't just show up at your house. Look at this. The truck with the armor and the satellite and all this stuff. Whatever the hell this thing is. Like, they don't just show up. That's not how that works.
In human trafficking crimes. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in some of the lawsuits, saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday."
Look at that. Sickening allegations. Okay? Sickening allegations. This is you, Mr. Diddy. Sickening allegations. You have admitted that those acts are sickening even to you. But then tried to convince everybody that it was just somebody that was looking for a quick check, which you paid, by the way, like $30 million.
Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged.
Again, awful. Right? That's an admission, because now we know you did it. If the question is, did he do it? Yes, Diddy did it. Any of the awful, again, that's an admission to your acts. Deplorable. Let me be absolutely clear. I had nothing to do with it.
Now, that Instagram post from Diddy was back in December. That was not in relation directly to Cassie. It was referencing many of these allegations and lawsuits that he faces. Now, I have reached out to Diddy's team. We have not heard back from them today. But, Jake, I do want to point out there was a settlement deal between Diddy and Cassie. So neither of them can speak. But, again, we're still waiting to hear back from his team. Now, a really great point that you
neither of them can speak. Lucky for Diddy, because what the hell would he say? What would he say?
Brought up top, Jake, was what is going on in Diddy's world, right? We've all heard stories of Hollywood enablers and enablers in circles around powerful people. But something that I want to point out, Diddy is one of the most powerful people in music history. He is a mogul. We have not seen any support in Hollywood. All of his famous friends, since these allegations came forward, we have not seen anyone come to his defense. And that silence is very loud, Jake.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Now, listen, when Cassie's complaint came out and people were actually able to read it, people came to Diddy's defense. His friends, things like that. And look, all right, I get it, because y'all know Diddy. Yeah, that's y'all friend, that's y'all whatever. You're going to back him until there's some proof that he would do any of those things, right? But it was the manner in which a lot of that was happening. I mean, Diddy was partying, people were around him, hanging out at a mansion or on an island and all this type of stuff. And it was just, it's crazy now, especially looking back, knowing that you actually did do those things and still had the nerve to party it up on camera in a response to the allegations, as if you were completely innocent, knowing damn well, which at that point, you're one of the few people that did know you did it. That's still how you were reacting. That's how you were acting. That's crazy. That's wild behavior right there. Because if you knew you really did, your ass should have been chilling in the house somewhere, minding your damn business. But you lived it up as if knowing no one would ever find out the actual truth.
With Wagmeister, thank you so much. Incredible work by the
Surprise.
LA Bureau. Let's discuss this with CNN's John Miller and Julie K. Brown, a Miami Herald investigative journalist who's been following this story, also best known perhaps for her work pursuing the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking story. So, John, Cassie filed her lawsuit in November. The feds raided Diddy's home in March. Now we see this awful video, which is more than 8 years old. And yet, Diddy has
Who
still
been
not
sitting
been
on this
charged
video?
with anything. I would think there would be grounds for his arrest in that video. Why hasn't he
That's
even
what a
charged
lot of
with
people
anything?
been asking.
Well, the video is out of the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations in California for a simple assault is a year. For domestic violence assault, it was 3 years. They've moved that up to 5 years. But this is out of range for a state charge in California.
Yeah, so that's another thing. It was outside the statute of limitations. What y'all think about that? Like, does statute of limitations as a law make sense to you? Or should it only be applied to certain things or things like that? Because listen, you beat the shit out of somebody on camera in 4K. Why would it matter if it was yesterday or 7 years from now? Doesn't matter. Some people argue both sides, man. I mean, for me, the crime is still the crime in that sense, especially something as ridiculous and deplorable and disgusting as that. I feel like there should be some consequence for that. The fact that it can be proven now, that's how they catch murderers, man. You know what I mean? Like, they be catching people that was murderers and serial killers in like the 60s and 70s. And they just now figure out the case today and they put those people in prison. Ain't no statute of limitations for that stuff. So something like this, I feel like shouldn't necessarily have that same protection because, I don't know, it's just too egregious of an act to be let go. Like, you gotta account for that in some way. But the fact that nothing, like zero, can be done is pretty crazy.
However, let's get back to that federal investigation. What HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, is doing, as Elizabeth framed it, is they are building a racketeering case, a RICO case based on human trafficking and allegations startlingly similar that track those that have been made in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit and in the lawsuit by another individual who worked for Combs that tell these stories of people being brought in the presence of weapons and drugs and so on. It's very much like what they did in the R. Kelly case, which got him 30 years in prison. So this charge, even though it's state crime is out of the statute of limitations, would be fair game in that federal case.
Ooh.
Julie, Cassie's lawsuit
See, I ain't know
claims
that.
that hotel security staff saw what was happening on surveillance, and they urged her to go home. The lawsuit then claims that Diddy paid $50,000 to get that footage from hallway security. CNN has reached out to the hotel for comment, not a hotel I'll ever want to stay at. How serious would it be if they witnessed an assault, did not report it, and then accepted money to basically disappear the security?
That's what we wondering, right? Because y'all clearly, listen, I used to manage hotels. I had to look at footage all the time when shit would pop off, okay? When things would happen in the parking lot, happen in the lobby, happen wherever. The first thing we did was run the cameras back. That's the first thing we did. So we know damn well that somebody knew about this right away. We know people saw her in the lobby when she was trying to get out. We know this. We know people in the hall probably called down complaints of hearing this disturb. We know all of that. So who the hell been sitting on this for 8 years? Of course Diddy tried to pay people off or obtain the footage or hush money and all this stuff. Of course. We don't doubt that for one bit. Not one bit.
Footage.
Damn.
Well, there's certainly a question of negligence on the hotel's part. And by the way, this just didn't happen in a hotel in LA. It's also, these kinds of incidents have been happening in hotels in Manhattan and in Miami Beach as well. So there presumably could be other video, because all these hotels have cameras. There presumably could be other video out there. And in addition, a couple of the
if there is other video out there, that means those other hotels are just sitting on it too.
other lawsuits that have been filed against him allege that that there is video evidence, and that is exactly what authorities were trying to get their hands on when they conducted their searches of his homes in Miami Beach and in California and LA.
John, assuming that
See, there's
Sean
always more
Combs,
to it
Diddy
than what
is
you
eventually
think.
charged, how important might this video be?
Well, it's going to be very important to the assault charge. It's going to be very important to the credibility of Cassie Ventura as a witness. Remember, when she brought that lawsuit, Ben Brafman, Combs' lawyer, called it baseless, outrageous lies from somebody looking for a payday, claimed that she had tried to blackmail them, that she demanded $30 million. That video is stunningly supportive of her credibility, of her allegations. It unfolds
Almost to a
exactly as
T.
she charged it did in her lawsuit.
Exactly.
So it will
Exactly.
help her if she becomes a witness in that case, and it will probably be a chargeable offense in the federal case if and when it comes.
Julie, the allegations
When?
against Diddy
Not
go
if,
far
when?
beyond Cassie's story, of course. Multiple lawsuits filed in the past year claim that Diddy hosted what he called freak-offs, sex parties so brutal that the young men and women would sometimes vomit and pass out from being drugged. They would be beaten.
Listen, there's so many artist interviews, people that have spoke on this, people that claim to have been there, people that have claimed to been put, in rooms alone to do things with other people, forced to do that. People have spoken on this over the years. Some of this stuff was televised. But for some reason, I don't know, people just didn't take to it. It was swept under the rug. People thought those people were lying, whatever the case. But man, when you have the same things said about you over the decades by multiple people, it starts to be like, okay, come on. Like, is everybody lying? Is everybody lying? Damn. Then you get crystal clear video.
They would be raped.
Of
they
craziness.
alleged that Diddy filmed it and directed his staff to change lighting or bedding to better display the people who were performing for him sexually. These are allegations. Does this remind you at all of the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case? And how did they get away with it?
Well, remember, the Jeffrey Epstein case happened decades ago, so they didn't have cell phones, for example, or this kind of recording technology. So we're far ahead of that in this. And even though they have some of that material, I'm sure what they're also going to look for is bank accounts, evidence that he paid people, including people that provided him with underage victims. And that's really...
What? Excuse me? Oh, I didn't know that.
People that provided him with underage victims. And that...
They are the same. That's a hell of an allegation right there. On top of everything, bro, I'm not putting it past you. I'm not putting it past you because we done already seen this with other people. They getting caught left and right. Damn, I did not know that. But am I surprised? Not really.
That's really the key here is whether they're going to be able to show that he also was engaged with sex trafficking minors, which is a very far more serious crime because of, their age, and also the fact that he has all this, other video evidence that he was allegedly committing these kinds of offenses.
Julie K. Brown and John Miller, thanks to both of you.
Yo, that's crazy. There's already people that had, that was kind of backing Diddy and going against Cassie after the allegations came out that have already since come out and apologized to Cassie now that they've seen the video. People one after another, Slim Thug and all these people, like saying, look, man, I seeing that, I can't rock with that. I can't side with Diddy, even though that's my dude. You know, I can't side with him. You know, I cannot stand behind this or any of that. So, I mean, that's good, but like, who else is around Diddy right now? I saw today he still had 20 million followers on his social media. Who's still following this man? I've seen some people even kind of defend it. Still talking about, well, why did Cassie wait so long? Why did she stay in a relationship? Why didn't she leave? Stupid niggas, man. Like, did you not watch the video? You saw what happened with her just trying to leave a hotel. The hell you mean? Why didn't she just leave the relationship? Shit's crazy, clearly. You know what I'm saying? The dude is off the chains, unhinged. I'm sure the situation was scary. It's probably easy to just ride the shit out and wait for another opportunity to whatever. You know, and eventually it did end. But like, people are corny for saying those type of things even after a video like this comes out. Who cares? There's nothing that would have warranted that behavior. You know what I'm saying? That it's just kind of crazy that people can still defend those things like that. But listen, there's other abusers out there, and they're sharing their opinions too. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. All of them people are red flags. Red flags. Nobody should be defending this whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of this. Ain't no way in hell this dude's career is not done. It has to be over because it's been 8 years since this incident. Clearly, this wasn't the first incident based on how he react. That was not a first time thing, right? This man be doing this. You could tell. So to know that you were doing this, you paying people to shut up, hush money, buying the footage, doing your boss mob Tony Montana shit, all this time, you and then comes out recently and you still call Cassie a liar. So you haven't owned up to it. You haven't taken any accountability. You haven't taken opportunities to take accountability. Cassie should have been taken care of, to be honest, knowing that you did this. It didn't need, nothing needed to go to court or nothing. $30 million? Psh, that's crazy. She had to sue you to get that. She should have got a lot more. But that's my point. Like, you haven't done anything over the better part of almost a decade to amend anything, make up for your actions, take accountability for anything or anything like that. And in fact, when you had the opportunity, you said they were lies and that she was a liar and she was just looking for a check. And then you see the video. Does that look like somebody that's just looking for a check? You kicked her while she was on the ground, bro. Come on, bro. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what comes of this. I can't imagine, Diddy's children, his daughters, that also are definitely going to see or have seen this video. You know what I'm saying? Diddy's son just dropped a diss track like a week or two ago defending his father. Defending his father. But now what do you think after seeing this? Yeah, I mean, he can't walk around. A lot of people didn't respect him to begin with, but a lot of people did. But ain't no way he can walk around with the same respect that he was getting, with the same, eye that people were looking at him with. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But we'll see, man. I hope more comes of this because he's got an answer for this. You know what I mean? I don't know how these dudes literally be beating on celebrities and getting away with it. I ain't never seen Diddy go off on no dude. All these dudes that be like pummeling their women like this, I don't see no videos of them nowhere going off on a guy like that. Fighting no dude with them same kind of cojones. Like nobody. But you'll do it to somebody that's like 100 pounds less than you, shorter than you, weaker than you, and everything else. You'll do that all day long. Come on, man. spineless, coward, bitch, all of that. Just corny. And anybody defending them is corny too. So y'all can do with that as you will. It's just a tough one to watch, man. But I'm also watching these people that's still following and defending him. I'm keeping an eye out for them red flags too. Anyways, I'm out of here.